Hello and welcome to the GCSE Chemistry tutorial for topic C2, Bonding, Structure and Properties of Matter. This tutorial will cover the three states of matter. Starting off with, you need to know the properties of solids, liquids and gases and what their particle arrangement looks like. Starting with solids, particles are very close together in a regular pattern as shown here. The particles can vibrate just around a very short fixed position, and they have a low amount of energy. Liquids, the particles are close, but they're more randomly arranged, and the particles can actually flow and move past each other as long as they're still touching. And then liquid particles have more energy than solids. Finally, gases. Gas particles are randomly arranged and far apart. They have the highest amount of energy and they can move quickly in all directions, as shown here. You also need to know how the particles change state. So, to turn a solid into a liquid, it's called melting. To turn a liquid into a gas, it's called evaporating or boiling. And then if you cool a gas back into a liquid, it's called condensing. And if you cool a liquid back into a solid, it's called freezing. So let's start with heating. In a solid, there's strong forces between the particles. When you heat it, these particles gain more energy and start to vibrate. At a certain temperature, depending on what the solid is, the particles will break free and turn into a liquid. And that's the melting point. So say, for example, the melting point of a substance is 100 degrees. That means at 100 degrees it turns into a liquid. If you carry on heating it, the particles gain even more energy and they start to change from a liquid into a gas. So some of these particles break free of their bonds and just evaporate off and it turns into a gas. This is called the boiling point. So, for example, the boiling point of water is 100 degrees, which means at 100 degrees, the liquid turns into a gas, or water turns into steam. Going back is cooling. So if you get a gas and you cool it, this time the particles lose energy and they can't overcome that force of attraction between the particles. So the bonds start to join up again and the gas turns back into a liquid. And then cool it even more and it turns into a solid. You can use melting and boiling points to predict states of substances. So remind me what states are. S means solid, L means liquid, G means gas, AQ means aqueous, so something dissolved in water. So if bromine has a melting point of -7 and a boiling point of 60 degrees, what is it at room temperature? Well, it means it must be, at room temperature, a liquid. So room temperature is about 25 degrees. So at 25 degrees, it's a liquid. Above 60, it would turn into a gas. Below -7, it would turn into a solid. You pause the tutorial and try and answer these questions now. What are the properties of a liquid? Well, there are weak forces between the particles. Particles can move past each other, but they're still close. Liquids can flow and be poured. They take the shape of their container and have no fixed volume, and they can expand when heated. What's a boiling point? It's a temperature at which the liquid particles lose enough energy to start to turn into a gas. What does the symbol AQ mean? It means aqueous, or dissolved in water. In summary, we've looked at the three states of matter.